Welcome, MechWarrior. You're accessing beginner-level training manuals for the Quickdraw QKD-4G provided by Ronin Fox Armored Security. I'll be your instructor, Fox. This tactical debriefing will explain to you the specifications, strengths, and weaknesses, as well as how to refit and operate one in the field. Because this is of the beginner level, some restrictions will apply, including no lost tech, no upgrades, no mods. DLC will be allowed. Let us begin. Technicron Manufacturing's Quickdraw QKD-4G. Weight class, heavy. Role, Skirmisher. Availability, very common. Threat level, moderate. Description. The Quickdraw is a Star League-era design that was intended to replace the Rifleman. However, the mech was not deployed in notable numbers until the First Succession War. While the Quickdraw was never successful in supplanting the Rifleman, it nevertheless became a popular all-purpose mech. Two of its unique attributes included its arm actuators capable of bending fully to the rear and shooting behind itself, as well as its highly articulated ankle actuators. These allowed the Quickdraw to navigate rough terrain more easily, including an impressive 12 degrees steeper terrain compared to similar battle mechs. However, this would also be the Quickdraw's weak point. The ankle articulation meant more delicate moving parts that were susceptible to damage, and enemy pilots frequently would kick or stomp upon the Quickdraw's ankles to cripple the mech. Overall, the Quickdraw is a popular model used across all powers of the inner sphere. That said, one will find them most frequently amongst the periphery powers. Specifications. Maximum weight, 60 tons. Minimum weight, 31 tons. This means 29 tons are available for customization. Top speeds include 81 kilometers forward, 53 kilometers reverse, standard engine. This could be seen as faster than average speeds for a heavy mech. Armor values include stock armor, 256 units. This is 8 tons of standard armor. Maximum armor is 414 units, which is 12.93 tons of armor. This could be seen as very below average armor for a heavy mech. Weaponry includes 1 LRM-10 left torso with 1 ton of LRM ammo, which is 440 missiles or 44 volleys left torso. 4 medium lasers, 2 in the right torso, 1 in the right arm, 1 in the left arm. 1 SRM-4 center torso with 1 ton of SRM ammo, which is 320 missiles or 80 volleys right torso. 2 heavy hand actuators rated at 20 damage left and right arm. 5 Class 3 jump jets, 2 in the right torso, 2 in the left torso, 1 in the center torso, and 3 additional heat sinks. Strengths and weaknesses. The Quickdraw 4G is a Skirmisher, a swift general-purpose mech whose role shifts based on battlefield demands. In this role, it has mediocre performance. These are its strengths. Fast. The Quickdraw is much faster than the typical heavy mech, allowing it to outmaneuver and flank enemies with ease. Strong melee. The full-size hand actuators hit hard on their own and can also be heavily upgraded. Simple weapons. Medium lasers and SRMs are easy and reliable to hit with, requiring little skill and practice to use effectively. The mech has its weaknesses, however, and they are substantial. Very thin armor. Comparable to a tough light mech, the Quickdraw's armor fails quickly if it is cut. Heat problems. The Quickdraw cannot keep its heat in check and very quickly overheats, which cripples its offense if the mech cannot win battles swiftly. Recustomization. Ronin Fox Armored Security recommends the following Quickdraw 4G refit for the beginner-level MechWarrior. It will resolve its armor and heat issues without compromising damage. Starting with a stripped mech, add 4 medium chem lasers and 2 tons of medium chem laser ammo. This is 230 rounds of ammo or 57.5 volleys. Chem lasers generate half the heat of a normal medium laser while losing minimal damage, allowing the Quickdraw to simultaneously run cooler and save tonnage on heat sinks. Add an SRM-6 and SRM-4 with 2 tons of SRM ammo, which is 640 missiles or 64 volleys. Max the armor and add 4 heat sinks, which will take the mech over its tonnage limit. Bring it into compliance by tuning the armor. Set the rear armor to 10 and move the rest of the armor to the front. Set the head to 24 and the legs to 44 each. This refit increases the Quickdraw's stamina both from heavier armor and superior heat efficiency. It will run cooler, meaning it can do more damage by firing longer before overheating. A heatsink can be substituted out for another ton of chem laser ammo if needed. BattleRom Debriefing. Now that the Quickdraw has been refitted, it's time to see how to operate it in the field. These are the mission conditions. Mission type, Battlefield. Difficulty, 57. Maximum drop weight, 270 tons. Allies include 1 Thunderbolt TDR-5S and 2 Catapult CPLT-C1s. All allied mechs are in stock configuration. Pilot skill, Veteran. If you own a BattlePod training simulator, check Document 1 in the video's description for an instant action code allowing you to replicate this battle for training purposes. Welcome to Deschler, MechWarrior. In 3025, the Draconis Combine hired mercenaries, including the Wolf's Dragoons, to launch a diversionary attack on Deschler. Their true target was Galtor 3. Breaker Lance is deployed to skirmish with the Davion Guards in the jungles of Deschler. You'll be seeing the perspective of its leader, Breaker 1. Breaker's combat patrol begins encountering a Shadowhawk and Javelin. The Shadowhawk pushes out past the tree line, and Breaker 1 uses the Quickdraw's speed to swing into a flanking maneuver, targeting the Shadowhawk's legs to disable the mech. Breaker 1 focuses the mech's legs, which had coincidentally taken heavy damage from LRM bombardment. The Javelin catches up after the Shadowhawk is down, but is now hopelessly outnumbered. The accurate chem lasers on board the Quickdraw allow it to easily target armor breaches to down the Javelin. A Leopard combat drops a Jaeger mech and Cataphract onto the battlefield. Breaker 1 quickly takes cover as the Jaeger mech begins bombarding him, forcing the Davion mechs to change targets. Breaker 2 then pushes forward while Breaker 3 and 4 rain down LRMs on the Jaeger mech. It suffers severe damage from the LRMs and falters as Breaker 1 and 2 push into close combat. With only the Cataphract remaining, the entirety of Breaker Lance combines its fire. The Cataphract's armor holds out impressively, but it is inevitably ground down. Another wave arrives from behind, a Crusader with 2 Locusts spotting for it. The Locusts clear the tree line, and Breaker 1's highly accurate lasers are ideal for penetrating the armor of small, fast targets. The second Locust is a 1M model known for its nearly non-existent armor. Another Leopard arrives to combat drop more mechs as the Crusader approaches. Breaker 1 knows it has to be eliminated quickly. Using the Quickdraw's mobility, Breaker 1 puts lasers and SRMs into the Crusader's rear armor, but does not over-pursue for fear of being ambushed himself. The Crusader falls as the newly dropped mechs arrive, a Battlemaster, Warhammer, and another Crusader. The newly arrived Crusader makes an aggressive push through the tree line, and Breaker 1 repeats his strategy, flanking the Crusader with a rear armor ambush, bringing it down after suffering an ammo explosion. The Warhammer was on Breaker 1 now, who quickly closes the distance with it. However, the Warhammer overheats and shuts down. Breaker 1 calmly targets the immobile mech's legs, blasting it apart with close-range SRM volleys. With only the Battlemaster remaining, Breaker 1 waits, allowing Breaker 3 and 4 to pound the assault mech with LRMs. As the Battlemaster pushes forwards, the Quickdraw's maneuverability brings it into near point-blank range with the rear armor of the Battlemaster. Breaker 1 destroys a powerful assault mech in mere moments with this devastating ambush. With their combat patrol completed, Breaker Lance returns with light damage. The Quickdraw fulfilled its skirmishing role, drawing some gunfire while its armor held and launching devastating flanking attacks. This concludes the tactical debriefing for the Quickdraw QKD-4G. You now have a fuller understanding of the mech's specifications, strengths and weaknesses, as well as how to refit and operate your own in the field. Thank you for choosing Ronin Fox Armored Security for all your training needs. And that is the Quickdraw video. Thanks so much for watching. As usual, though, the out-of-character Fox final review for the Quickdraw 4G. Now, the Quickdraw is essentially a big medium mech, but that's a good thing because you do need to be at least 60 tons to crash through walls. Crashing through walls lets you demolish bases faster as well as create your own flanking and escape routes. Overall, I don't like them as much as the Dragon or the Champion, but they're still good, especially if you get some of the alt variants with melee weapons or with even more lasers. Anyways, that's it, bros. Next up, it's going to be an assault mech, don't know which. And hey, show the Fox some love and subscribe if you have watched 2 or 3 of these videos. Don't forget to tune into my MechWarrior 5 streams and join my Discord community where you can ask any MechWarrior questions you like. Hey, it's been real though, but it's time for the Fox to dip. So remember that you don't have to be good to get good.